My name is Juan Fernando Asuncion. I am the PRO of Enrea Metro Rizal. I am also a real estate broker and a real estate appraiser. To start off, let us start this program with a prayer. Ms. Zaira Soriano, please.
Thank you for that, Sir Juan. So before we begin, I believe that everything must be started with a prayer. So let us put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord. Lord Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Maraming salamat, Lord, for another opportunity for us to learn as we move forward in our career. Lord, as we continue this session, allow us to just be empowered with the talents and skills that you have given us. Allow us to use this to serve other people, to glorify your name. Lord, I pray for all the participants here. I pray that may they learn from Sir Teddy, from Engineer Teddy. I also pray for Engineer Teddy to um, to enjoy and to just really share his wisdom. Lord, I know that he's been in the industry for so long, and we know that we are going to learn a lot from him. Lord, again, I pray for everyone who is here gathered to learn and to move forward with our career. Lord, we ask everything in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ.
Amen. Okay, next up, to learn more about Enrea, we will watch a short audiovisual presentation. All right. Next up, we will play a short video. This is for Enrea Metro Rizal's recruitment video. All right. Next up is the opening remarks. We have here Proxy, Ms. Saira Zoriano, a trustee in charge of Education Committee.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? Can you confirm lang po?
Clear po.
Everything's okay. Can you hear me? Loud and clear?
Loud and clear,
All right.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for making time. Thank you po for confirming. Thank you for attending this event. I know it's a Saturday. Perhaps you have other schedules, pero you still manage to invest in your real estate career through learning. Yes, Miss Press Joy is currently in an event, and so ako muna ang proxy. So just to share with you, we started our e-learning service e-learning series hub last week. And we had our session on condominium concepts. So moving forward, we will have different sessions or series. And so I'm really excited for today because we have Engineer Teddy, and actually he will be introduced by Sir Victor Soledom. Ayun, okay. And also, I would like to remind everyone, we will be sending a registration link. So if I may request for everyone to really click that link and
All right, it's time to pass the mic na nga, ano? We have here the trustee, or rather the chairperson for Education Committee, Mr. Victor Solidum. Of course, he is our last week speaker nga po, no? Ms. Syra, please flash nga na yung poster last week. Ayan, Sir Victor.
Thank you. So it is a distinct privilege to introduce a speaker who embodies the gold standard of professional excellence and academic mastery. For me, it is a special honor and a point of pride to be one of his professors during his time at Philippine Christian University. Engineer Teddy Dalope is a rare triple threat professional, holding licenses as a metallurgical engineer, real estate broker, and a real estate operator. His career is defined by an extraordinary habit of excellence, having secured 3 PRC board top-notcher spots, placing third in metallurgical engineering year 2005, third in real estate brokerage in 2022, and eighth in the real estate appraisal 2022. This academic foundation is as diverse as it's impressive, with degrees from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and Philippine Christian University, complemented by international real estate studies in California, US of A. Beyond these personal accolades, Engineer Dalope is a visionary leader, a legendary educator. He serves as the president and CEO of Alpha Review and Training Center, TD Real Estate Services, and Praxis Learning and Training Institute Incorporated. His impact on the industry is historic. In just 3 years, he has produced 114 board top-notchers and achieved a perfect sweep of all top 10 spots in the Real Estate Appraiser Board exam for both 2024 and 2025. Currently serving as the VP for External Affairs at Rebop Global City and the president of the PCU BSREM Alumni Association. He remains fueled by a mission to bridge the gap between licensure and successful professional practice. Please join me in welcoming a transformative leader, a dedicated mentor, and a distinguished professional, Engineer Teddy Dalope.
Thank you for that, Prof. Solidum, for that very, very warm welcome. By the way, Prof. Solidum was my favorite professor. Okay? Dati ko na siyang favorite, mas lalo ko siya naging favorite dahil siya ang nagbasa ng aking autobio. Thank you so much, Sir Solidum. and to our attendees. I hope I will bring justice to the very nice welcome and introduction to myself. And I hope you will learn a lot from this discussion on appraisal fundamentals plus workshop. Now, before I begin, I'd like to understand the audience. Who among you are currently BSREM students? Could you please type 1 if you are currently a BSREM student? I see none. So that means we don't have any BSREM students in the audience. Who among you are currently, okay, we have one. Thank you so much, Mr. Bumanglag. If you are a real estate professional, either a broker or appraiser licensed, could you please type number 2? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I can see familiar names. Kim Ramon Liwag, Christine Quintanilla, Oliver Fal. Okay, marami akong kilala dito. All right. So, wala palang bago sa mga kilala ko pala yung mga nandito. Okay, I'm surprised. Mga Enrea pala ay mga kakilala ko. Okay. How about allied professionals? Could you please type number 3? Mela Yumol. Okay. Allied professional, could you please type number 3? Tin Colindres. Okay, parang kilala ko lahat yung mga pangalan. Oy, Eric Blanca, you're also part of Enrea, ha? All right, so nice meeting you all. A pleasant afternoon. So our topic for today is about appraisal workshop. Okay, so kala ko kasi nung una, I was worried. I called Zaira. The title of the collaterals about Reblex Success Series or something like pa-review yata ito. Sabi ko, mukhang mali yata yung na-prepare ko na presentation. But upon calling Zaira, tama lang pala because most of you are already professionals. So this is more of the practical side of appraisal. So if you are not yet practicing appraisal or if you want to enhance your appraisal practice, you're in the right webinar. Okay, so could you please confirm if you can see my screen? Could you please type 1? Can you please confirm if you can see my screen?
Pero let me just stop sharing my screen po.
Oh, okay. I will reshare, okay? Screen 1. Hindi pa siya nag-fire. Kita na yung screen? All right, nakikita na yung screen. Thank you so much for confirming. So, the topics that I'm going to discuss is about the appraisal measuring tools, traditional versus standard. We have also the modern apps. I'm going to discuss the GPS coordinates, understanding what it is and relating that on how to measure and use that as a guide to plot the lot. We're also going to use GeoPortal, Google Earth, and we are going to do some exercises. And last but not the least, the photography and appraisal. So by the way, I'm using the virtual background of Praxis. So I am the president and owner of Praxis Learning and Training Institute. So that's why our template that we're going to use is Praxis. Okay. So before we start, we have to define some terminologies. So what is real estate appraisal? Pasensya na sa spelling, medyo nagkamali ako ng word appraisal. But appraiser's role is to provide an unbiased professional opinion of value. So valuation is done by a licensed real estate appraiser. Kung hindi ka real estate appraiser, you cannot value or you cannot give an opinion of value because it's only for licensed real estate appraiser. And it must be unbiased. Typically, opinion of value is for market value. Maraming klaseng value. We have the insurance value, force value, but mainly it is for market value. Yan ang typical na reason why clients ask for an appraisal. What is an appraisal process? We have 5 steps. The number 1, of course, is to inspect the property. After inspection, you collect the data and analyze the market. And then number 4, you value. We have 3 approaches to valuation: sales comparison approach, cost, and income approach. After you use these 3 approaches to valuation, you reconcile. You can do weighted average. You can also do arithmetic average if they are evenly distributed. And of course, the final report, the appraisal report. The purpose of appraisal for clients who would like to buy, who would like to sell, for lending purposes, legal and tax matters, and investment analysis. Now, appraisal is part of your BSREM profession. People sometimes, they pass the exam, but they don't use the license. Okay? Marami tayong ganyan. If you are one of them, already have the license, but haven't still appraised a single property, could you please type number 5? Survey lang po. Wala naman pong right or wrong answer dito. I just like to know kung ginagamit mo na ba yung lisensya mo or hindi pa. Maybe after attending this workshop, you will be encouraged. Or my role is to encourage people who have license to now start practicing the profession. So currently, I got this data from PRC. We have around 14,000 licensed appraisers so far. If those who passed the board exam last year, July and November, if they took an oath and apply for the license ID, we have roughly 14,000 real estate appraiser in the Philippines. According to PRC, about 42% of them, they don't have a valid license, meaning they did not renew. 58% only have valid license. So there is a big gap between licensed or active appraisers and inactive appraisers. So with the implementation of RP-BARA, if you're already aware of that, each cities and municipalities will require 3 to 5 appraisers. Kailangan na po licensed appraisers na ang mga nasa assessors. If each cities and municipalities will require between 3 to 5 licensed appraisers, and we have 1,642 cities and municipalities in the Philippines, meaning about 5,000 licensed appraisers are required in the government sector. So 5,000 nasa government sector, about 14,000 licensed appraisers, 8,000 lang dyan ang may valid license. So meaning, 3,000 lang ang magiging competition mo if you're going to work in the private sector. And take note, out of those licensed appraisers with active valid IDs, some of them, they use the license as valid ID in their wallet, meaning hindi naman talaga nila pinapractice. Okay, so there is a big gap, and that is an opportunity. If you are still not practicing, I hope you will start practicing, kasi ito lang yung profession na hindi pwedeng ikolorum. Sa brokers, on the broker side, if you're selling, ang dami nating kalaban dyan. Mas maraming colorum. Dito, hindi pwedeng ikolorum kasi you need the signature of a licensed appraiser. If you like what I said, could you please type number 10? Malaking chance. Maraming opportunity. There are a lot of properties that needs appraisal. Ikaw na lang ang inaantay. Now, I will give you one more big reason why you need to practice appraisal. Papipiliin kita between the two. Which one would you prefer? right now, would you like to become a broker or practice the appraisal? Can you type broker? Can you type appraiser? Which one would you choose between the two? Okay, si Prof. Solidum, both. How about the others? Wala naman pong tama at maling sagot. Both, broker, broker. Okay. Hindi ko kayo masisisi kung broker ang pipiliin nyo kasi nga naman mataas ang commission. But I will give you one big reason why you should pick after this workshop being an appraiser, start practicing the profession if you are still not practicing. Yan. Sabi nga, masarap pagmahal ang mga appraiser dahil nakatiwangwang nga na lupa, binavalue, ikaw pa kaya? Diba? Kung ang jeepney driver, sweet lover, ang appraiser, hindi ka babaliwalain. Masarap daw silang magmahal. Okay, so pakatandaan yan, ikaw dapat ay mag-practice ng appraisal. Okay, so now, let's go to the serious part. I am going to discuss the traditional measuring without tools. Kung ikaw ay isang appraiser at wala kang panukat, ito ang pwede mong gawin. Number one is pacing. When you say pacing, you are going to measure using your stride. One stride is 2 steps. Remember that. It is measured from your toe to the heel of your foot. So, maglalakad ka, natural steps, hindi yung nilalakihan mo yung hakbang mo. If you are an adult, typically it's 2.5 feet. 2.5 paa. For me, because I am almost 6 feet tall, 2.6 ang aking natural stride. Meaning, kinalibrate ko na yan. I walk 100 steps. I measure that. It's on average 2.6 feet. So, dapat ikaw, i-measure mo din yan kung gusto mong malaman ang iyong natural stride, ma-measure mo even though you don't have a measuring tool. Where is this applied? Quick lang. Napunta ka nasa isang lugar and may client ka, nagpapabenta, hindi mo nadala yung tools mo. Titignan mo, what is the frontage of this property? You start walking, natural stride, and you can already determine the advantage of this property is that it has a very large or very long frontage. Alam naman natin, pag malaki ang frontage, maganda yan sa property. So, you can easily measure using your stride. Number 2, arm span or shoe to boot method. Meaning, iunat mo daw yung kamay mo. Iunat mo yung kamay mo from the tip of your fingers to the tip of your other finger or other hand. That is your height. So, kung ako, 6 feet tall, i-span ko lang yung aking arms, 6 feet yan. Saan ginagamit yan? You can use that in measuring walls. Sa wall, may measure mo yan, quick measurement. Bakit ko gagawin yan? Hindi nga ako nakapagdala ng tape measure. So, quick measuring tools used in the interior of your houses. Diba? Or kaya table. Ikaw ay pupunta ka ng mall, tapos bibili ka ng cabinet, bibili ka ng lamesa, wala kang panukat. Alam mo naman yung height mo, iunat mo lang yung kamay mo. Okay. It only applies kung walang diferensya yung kamay mo. Okay? Yung may mga iba kasi maiksi yung kamay nila, yung span nila. But typically, for normal person, the span of your hand is the same as your height. Okay? Then, rule of thumbs, meaning, yung sukat daw ng tiles. So, applicable to pag pumasok ko sa isang bahay, you look at the flooring. Gusto mong quick measurement. Ano ba ang area ng floor na ito? You count the tiles and then you multiply it. A standard tiles daw is 24 inch by 24 inch. Kung ikaw ay magtitake ng board exam, lumalabas sa exam yan, standard size daw is 24 inch by 24 inch. May mas maliit dyan na tiles, it's 12 inch by 12 inch. Pag wala sa choices, pwedeng 60 centimeter by 60 centimeter. However, if you're going to convert 24 inches into centimeter, 61 po yan. I think 60.96. Ni-round off lang para walang butal. Okay? So, applicable yan pagka bahay, naka-tiles. Pag naka-carpet, di mo pwedeng gamitin yan. Sa toilet, pwede mong gamitin kung ang ginamit na tiles either 12 inches or 24 inches. Pero pag maliliit, hindi mo siya pwedeng gamitin. Now, out of the three, which one are you already using? Which one you are already using or you already know, or kung hindi pa, wala kang nagamit dyan, which one is your favorite? Could you please type your answer on the chat box para meron tayong interaction? Okay, pacing. Ako rin, favorite ko yung pacing kasi mabilis yan. Arm span, yes. I like arm span. Quick measurement ng wall. Pag measure ko din yan nang bibili ako ng refrigerator, baka hindi magkasya doon sa paglalagyan ko, pacing. Alright, maganda ang pacing. Okay, so you start measuring your stride. Again, stride is 2 steps. Natural or normal steps. Thank you sa mga participants na nagpa-participate. Now, we are going to use appraisal tools naman. Kanina, traditional measurement without tools. Now, we're going to use tools. Of course, number one, the tape measure. The tape measure, katulad lang nito, yan. Very common na tool si Stanley. Yan. Be particular lang sa units. Yan. Nakikita mo yan. Sometimes it is in centimeters, sometimes it is in inches. Okay? Saan to ginagamit? It's good for measuring thickness. Titignan mo thickness ng bintana, thickness ng door, thickness ng cabinet. Yan, maganda siyang pang-measure. Now, pag malalayo, may limitation lang to. This particular tape measure, it's only for 8 meters. The problem with this tape measure is that it requires another person to help you. Kasi minsan, nababaluktot or kailangan mo ng anchor dito sa dulo. At pag luma na yung tape measure mo, minsan nababaluktot. Okay, so kailangan mo siyang hawakan. So, kung nahihirapan ka, wala kang assistant, you can use the laser distance measurer, yung nasa gitna. It is best for measuring interior rooms and upper floor plans with high speed and surgical precision. Ito naman yon. Ang itsura niya. Yan. So kung bibili ka nito, pwede mo itong bilihin sa Shopee, sa Lazada. It's only 3,000 pesos. The cheapest one that I saw, 2,000. But again, I'd like the rugged ones, yung malaki. Okay? Ang problem lang dito, you cannot use it pagka may mirror. If there's a mirror, it reflects back. Hindi mo siya pwedeng pag-measure. Pagka i-measure mo yung wall ng bintana, pag salamin, tumatagos. Pagka mirror naman, bumabalik. At huwag mong itututok sa mata ng kakilala mo, okay? So this has a limitation of 100 meters naman ang kanyang limit. Yan, nandyan si screen nyo, it's 100 meters. Now, how about tracts of land? Malalayo, malakihan na. Hindi pwede ang tape measure because the tape measure is only good for 8 meters. The laser is only good for interior up to 100 meters. Ngayon naman, pagka nasa labas na, rural lots, perimeter lots, dapat gagamit ka na ng walking measure. Measuring wheel ang tawag. Ito yan. Yan. Meron tayo. Ayan ang itsura niya. Kung gusto mong bumili nito, murang-mura lang naman to. This is only 1,000 pesos. Yan. Meron siyang pang-measure dito. May panukat siya dito. Up to 10,000 meters or 10 kilometers. How about, Coach, the fiberglass measuring tape? Fiberglass. Okay, hindi pa ako nakakita, Miss Melay, ng fiberglass. Pero kung meron ka niyan, I'd like to see it as well. Hindi pa ako nakakita. You may send a screenshot para ma-picture out ko ang itsura ng fiberglass dyan sa chat box. Okay. So, magandang gamitin yung measuring wheel. The only problem is that if you are measuring a tract of land that is 10 kilometers, baka sa 10 kilometers napagod ka na, nainitan ka na, hindi mo natapos, na heat stroke ka pa. Diba? Okay lang yan. Pagka maliliit siguro, 500 square meters, which is 20 by 20 or 400 square meters kasi pag 25 times 20 yata is 500. Okay, 25 by 20 square meters is 500 square meters. Pag maliliit, pag malakihan na, hectares na pinag-uusapan natin, then that is the problem. So anong gagamitin mo? Yan ang ituturo ko sa inyo. Okay? Huge lot, no measuring tools, big problem. Umattend ka ng workshop ko, no problem. Pakitype naman sa chat box, no problem. Okay, wala kang measuring tool. Pero dahil sa umattend kayo ng NREA webinar, yan, marami kang makukuha for today. So, ano yung mga yan? I am going to teach you how to use the GPS coordinates locator. Okay, saan ba ginagamit ang GPS? Global Positioning System. Yan yung system na ginagamit kung ikaw ay nag-grab, alam mo kung gaano ka kalayo sa iyong destination. Alam mo kung kailan ka kakanan. In 100 meters, kakanan ka, kakaliwa ka. Because it is using GPS coordinates, it could calculate the distance from one point to another if you know the coordinates. Here you have GPS coordinate locator app that you can download on Android and Apple. So ang pangalan niyan, GPS coordinates. Don't worry, ipapakita ko mamaya yung QR code para ma-download mo, magamit natin today. Pagkatapos ng workshop, pwede ka nang mag-practice ng appraisal. Okay? So, paano ba nagme-measure ang distance using GPS coordinates? We know that if it is on a flat surface, on a Cartesian plane, you are using the X and Y coordinates. You can easily measure that. Flat siya. However, dahil ang Earth is bilog, you have to consider the curvature. So pag pina-appraise sa inyo, pa-appraise nga ang Pilipinas. Nako, alam mo na yan. Ang Pilipinas, malayo na, hindi na siya flat. Okay? You have to consider the curvature. So to measure the distance between 2 points, you can use the Cartesian plane using Pythagorean theorem. Here, you cannot use Pythagorean theorem. Ang formula na gagamitin mo dyan Haber-Sine formula. So Pythagorean theorem, flat surface, you use the Euclidean geometry. Pinag-aralan natin yan noong elementary and high school. However, if it is curved, you are going to use the geodesic geometry. Formula, Haber-Sine formula, alpha is equal to sine squared delta theta. Masyadong mahaba yan. Titigan mo lang, pinapakita ko lang sa iyo na you can measure the distance between 2 points using the GPS coordinates. Okay, saan ginagamit ang GPS coordinates? Hindi mo na kayang i-measure using the measuring wheel. Masyado nang malayo. It is used for agricultural tracts, mga agricultural rolllands, yan, mga malalayo. 10 hectares, 20 hectares, yan. As long as you know the GPS coordinates, you can measure the distance and you can even plot the lot on Google Maps, Google Earth, and the GeoPortal. Okay, again, flash ko ulit that these are the 2 recommended GPS coordinate locator that you can find on your phone. If you are an Android user, you can download GPS coordinates. And if you're an Apple user, my GPS coordinates, para hindi ka mahirapan, you can screenshot kung hindi ka pa ready dahil punong-puno ang cellphone mo ng pictures mo. Okay? Kung gusto mong ma-download yan, pakidelete mo na yung ibang pictures mo. Mas importante ito para meron kang GPS coordinates locator dyan sa cellphone mo. Could you please scan the QR code and upload? So, pili ka lang dyan, Android or Apple. Okay. So, I'll give you a few more seconds para mapicturean mo yan at ma-download mo. Okay. Pag na-download mo na, we can plot the lot without using any measuring tools. Okay. Before we talk about plotting the lot, I need to discuss to you the concepts of the latitude and the longitude. Number one, when you say latitude, these are the horizontal lines. O, nung nag-BSREM tayo, nag-board exam ka, puro theory lang to. But now, bubuhayin natin. We are going to use these concepts in practical application. When you say horizontal lines, the most common horizontal line that you know sa map and on Earth is the equator. The equator is the one dividing the Earth from northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. It is also called the latitude. So the latitude is the horizontal line. Okay? Ito yung mga yan. Horizontal lines are the latitudes. Now, how about the vertical lines? The vertical lines are called the longitude. So para matandaan mo, long. O alam mo pag long, patayo yan. Longitude are vertical lines. The most common vertical lines, lumabas din yan sa exam, prime meridian. The prime meridian is the baseline. It is the 0 degrees. Now, for the equator, the latitude, balikan ko lang, that is the one dividing the northern and southern hemisphere. 0 itong degrees na yan. This is 0 degrees. And then as you go north, up to the North Pole, 0 degrees yon. So ang hatian yan, this is 30, 60, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, yan, hanggang doon 90. And at the bottom, at the South Pole, that is also 0. Kaso nga lang negative, pababa ka. If you are on the northern part, positive, nasa baba ka, negative. O paano naging positive, negative? Siguro naman naalala mo yung graphing paper nung high school or elementary. You have the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Pagka prime meridian, yan yung vertical lines. Basis natin, 0. Okay. Now, question. What's the opposite of the prime meridian? What vertical line is on the opposite side of the prime meridian? Could you please type your answer, please? Pasensya na kung para akong nagpapa-board exam, ha? Gusto ko kasi yung mga student engage. They're answering just to test for understanding. So what is the opposite of the prime meridian? If the prime meridian is 0 degrees, on the opposite side, it is 180 degrees. Ano kaya yung line na yon? Pag Enrea, dapat mabilis sumagot. Meridian, sabi ni Melay Yumol. Not quite. Sige. It should be. Ito yung line na pag tumatawid ka, malalaman mo kung anong oras na. It is the international dateline. Okay, diyan malalaman kung sino ang mauunang magpapaputok sa New Year. O nauuna yung mga Pacific Islanders, New Zealand, Australia. Diba? That is the international dateline. Now, for the prime meridian, it runs between 0 to 180 degrees. Pagka latitude, it runs from 0 to 90 degrees. Yan, international dateline. Tama yan. And by the way, prime meridian is located in Greenwich, London, United Kingdom. Okay? Nandun ang 0 reference point natin. So ito yan para makita mo anong ibig sabihin ng latitude and longitude. Equator is 0. As you go up, you go to 90 degrees, pinakatuktok. So 1530, 45, 60, up to 90, 60, 75, 90. Positive, nasa north side, south side, negative. Dito naman sa longitude, prime meridian yung ating basis, hinahati niya ang globe between western hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So remember, meron lang maingay sa background. Could you please mute muna? Okay. So if it is longitude, it runs from 0 to 180 degrees. Latitude, it runs from 0 to 90 degrees. So, pakita ko ulit. So meaning, the position of the latitude is your y-axis. The y-axis is your latitude. The longitude is your x-axis. So makikita mo dito, prime meridian, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, and 180. On the other side, negative 30, negative 60, negative 90, negative 120, negative 150, up to 180 at the back. Now, what is the GPS location of the Philippines? So, here, on a Cartesian plane, pagka inunat mo yan, Philippines, nandito yan. Nandito tayo. Meaning, the Philippines has positive x coordinate and y coordinate. Ano si x? X is the latitude. Y is the longitude. So meaning, pag binuksan mo yung GPS coordinates na iniscan mo, if you open that, you will see, paki-open po yung GPS coordinate locator na dinownload nyo. If you open that, you will see that the Philippines is normally in between 15 degrees latitude and 122 longitude. Tama? Could you please put your screenshots dito sa chat box para malaman natin kung nasundan yung sinasabi ko dahil gagamitin natin yan mamaya. Can I see your GPS coordinates yung na-download nyo kanina? Screenshot nyo lang and send it here sa chat box. This is also the reason why the USA, the Latin Americas, Canada, they are called the Western countries. Why are they called the Western countries? Because they are located on the Western Hemisphere. Nandito po ang Amerika. They are on the Western Hemisphere. That's why they are called the Western countries. The Philippines is on the east side. That's why tayo ay nasa silangan. Sino pa ang mga nasa silangan? Eastern countries, yan yung mga Saudis. Ba? Mga Eastern countries, Saudi, nandito, Philippines. Tapos pag ikaw ay nasa negative x, negative y coordinates, yan yung mga South African countries. Now, another board exam question. Here, yung parallel na yan, first layer, that's the Tropic of Cancer. This is the Tropic of Cancer, and this is the Tropic of Capricorn. Meaning, those two layers, yan yung mainit, hot and humid because they get the direct sunlight of the sun. That's why it's tropical ang temperature. Tropics of Cancer and Tropics of Capricorn. Okay? So Philippines, nandito tayo. Sana yung mga screenshot nyo. Asan yung Paki-send nga kung nasundan. Oh, okay. Tin Colindres. Meron bang restriction? Miss Zaira? Okay, kung wala, paki-type na lang yung GPS coordinates na nakikita nyo dyan sa screenshot nyo, sa screen nyo when you open the GPS locator. It should be longitude and latitude. Anyone? Yan. Paki-type lang dito sa chat box. I'd like to see kung nakikita nyo yung sinasabi ko na 15 and 122 longitude and 15 latitude. Tignan natin kung sino first honor. Again, quadrant 1, positive, positive. Quadrant 2, negative, positive. Quadrant 3, negative, negative. And quadrant 4, positive and negative. It runs counterclockwise. Counterclockwise, Philippines is on the first quadrant. Northern Americas, nandito yan. Southern Africa, nandito. Nandito si Australia. Nandito si Australia, tsaka si New Zealand. Yan, nasa baba sila ng equator. Okay. Now, yan, si Kim Ramon Liwag, 14 degrees 35 degrees north, 100. Siyan yung sinasabi ko, 14 degrees and 120. Meron ba dito na ang GPS location niya, yan, 1820, okay. Longitude 14.89, thank you dun sa mga nagpa-participate. Ma'am Felicidad, 14.89, 120. Okay, from here, what I can see, most of our attendees are from Metro Manila. Etong si 18.2, if I am going to guess, 120, 18.2, nasa north to. Itong si 18.2, I think you must be located somewhere in Ilocos. Yes, okay, Ilocos. See? Ilocos yung 189. So, how do I know that you're already in Ilocos? Kasi if NCR is 14, as you go up, you are going north of the equator. Lumalayo ka sa equator. Melayo mo, 14.54, 121. So, 121, nandito si Melayo mo, banda siya malapit siya sa west side. Pero nandito pa rin siya sa Metro Manila. But you are on the western side of the Philippines. 14.68. Taguig. Okay, because Taguig is on the west side. Alright. 13.96. Ibig sabihin, 13.96. 14. Medyo bumaba yan eh. So, ibig sabihin, nasa south yan. Si Lenny. Are you from Cavite? Lenny, are you from Cavite or tama ba? Can you confirm? Quezon Province. Okay, Quezon Province kasi bumababa siya. Kung ang nakuha mo ay nasa 8 ka, ang latitude mo ay 8, nasa General Santos ka, nasa ilalim ka, you are getting closer to the equator. Remember, the equator is the latitude base 0 degrees. Now, okay, nasample na tayo. Kung nasa Palawan ka, ibig sabihin nasa 8 ang 120, nasa 118 ang longitude mo. Lumalapit ka sa prime meridian. Okay, thank you for those who participated. At dahil sinenyo ang inyong GPS coordinates, alam ko kung saan ko kayo pamamanmanan. Okay? Alam ko na kung saan kayo nakatira. Okay. Kung participant lang sana dito, si Atong Ang, meron na sana akong 10 million ngayon. Kaso nga lang, hindi siya na-invite ng Inrea. Sayang. Sir Noel Kubangbang, 14, 121. Metro Manila pa rin yan. Yung 14 and 121. 121, medyo nasa western side yan. Right? Thank you so much for participating. Ayan. So we will just recap. Ano yung pinag-usapan natin? When you say latitude, it is the distance north and south of the equator. Pag longitude naman, east and west yan because the prime meridian divides the globe into western and eastern hemisphere. Tawag dyan meridians. Pagdating naman sa latitude, parallels ang tawag dyan. Ang naalala mong parallels, si equator yan. Meridians, prime meridian, tsaka si international dateline. Basis niyang mga reference line yan, 0. So range ng latitude, you have to remember, is 0 to 90. How do I determine it is longitude? Oh, kahit hindi mo lalagyan na longitude, latitude, it's because of the range 120 to 0 to 180. That is longitude. Kaya nga siya long kasi mahaba siya. Okay? Ang intervals niya is 180, yung isa hanggang 90. Horizontal east-west, yung isa north and south. Okay, now let's go to the practical application. Here in BGC, pinaglalaruan ko yung GPS locator na yun. I'd like to know what is the area of one block here in BGC. You know, when it's one block, yan yung bago ka tumuyod sa kabilang kalsada, di ba? You know it's one block. Okay? And there's merong divider dyan sa gitna, di ba? To break the block. So, 4 normally. In one block, typically may 4 na building dyan. Here in BGC, ha? So, dito sa nakikita nyo, ang napagtripan ko na i-measure for purposes of presentation is itong area ng 31st and 30th Street, corner 2nd and 1st Avenue. Gusto ko sanang i-measure tong vacant lot dito, yung motorcycle parking, kaso nga lang, baka mapagod ako para makuha yung mga corners niya kasi ang dami niyang kanto. But this one is square. So sabi ko ito na lang for presentation purposes. So using the GPS coordinates, I was able to plot the lot on Google Earth. Sabi niya dito, ang perimeter ko daw is 356 meters. Meaning kung ipapapader ko yan, that is the 356 meter, that is linear. If it is perimeter, it is linear. You multiply that with the height of the fence, then it becomes the surface area. And multiply per square meter, you can multiply the cost to fence that block. Okay? Just for purposes of example. Area. Ang area daw niya, almost 8,000 square meters. Less than a hectare. Anong elevation niya? 20.79 meters. Meaning, mataas pala from the sea level. Kaya pala dito sa Taguig, dito sa BGC ay halos hindi binabaha. Hindi mo makikita dahil mataas ang kanyang elevation. I will show you later how to use that. Okay. So, discuss ko muna kasi meron sa inyo nag-download niyan. May lumalabas na latitude and longitude. And meron naman para siyang decimal point. Di ba? Dire-diretso. Hindi mo alam kung longitude or latitude yan. So here, itong apat na boxes dyan, these are the corners of my example kanina. So this is point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. Anong ginawa ko? Tumayo ako dun sa corner, pinindot ko yung GPS coordinate locator ko, that is point 1. Lakad ako, punta akong point 2, pindutin ko ulit, point 3, point 4, para lang makuha ko yung GPS coordinates niya, maiplot ko siya sa Google Map. So ano yung nakuha ko na 4 na screenshot? Ito yan. I hope ginawa mo rin yan dahil pina-download ko sa iyo. Kung hindi mo ginawa, hindi ko lang alam kailan mo gagamitin. Baka maging broker ka na lang forever. Ayaw mo talaga maging appraiser. Okay? Marami pa naman pera sa pagiging appraiser. Now, let us discuss this. Medyo magulo. It's 2BC. Discuss natin yan. So here, palakihin natin para makita that one. So this latitude 14.55394 and longitude 121.0438, that is just the same of the north 14 degrees 33 minute 14.19912 seconds. East 121 degrees to 2 minute and 37.6962 seconds. So yan yung tinatawag nilang bearing and distance. So meron kang bearing. You can convert that into latitude and longitude. Pareho lang yan. Paano? So, dissect natin. Gusto kong ipareho ang 14.55394 with this one. Yan. So yung minute, parang minute and seconds, kukonvert mo siya into hours. So yung 14, the 14 degrees is just 14 hours. So 33 minutes, to convert that into hours, you have to divide that by 60 because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So 33 divided by 60. How about this one? Seconds. The seconds, you have to convert that into hours by dividing it by 3,600. Bakit 3,600? Because there are 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Kung hindi ka convinced, 60 times 60 is equal to 3,600. Do the same on the other side. Ito kasi yung ginagawa natin, the latitude and the longitude. And then, add them all together. So 14, drop mo lang yon kasi yung degrees na yon, para yan yung hours. 33 divided by 60 is 0.55. 14.19912 divided by 3,600 is 0.00394. Now, add them, lalabas, 14.55394 is just the same as north 14 degrees, 33 minutes, 14.9912 seconds. Kung naintindihan yun, pakitype naman ang 20 para naman ganahan ako kasi medyo namamalat na ako kasi kanina pa akong umaga nagle-lecture. Okay, thank you so much sa mga nagpa-participate. Okay? Let's go. Let's go to the exciting part. Dahil naintindihan nyo na ang ibig sabihin ng latitude at longitude. Ang longitude, yan yung vertical. Yung latitude, that is the horizontal. Latitude is the y-axis. Longitude is the x-axis. At alam mo, yung bearing is just the same as the GPS coordinates na nakikita mo. Now, lot plotting apps, paki-picturean. Sa cellphone, mahirap siyang gamitin. Maganda kung sa laptop mo to gagamitin. But for now, paki-picturean lang muna so that you can download Google Earth and GeoPortal. Sa desktop or laptop po, maganda pong gamitin. Okay. So, balikan natin yung example ko kanina. Paano ako nag-come up dyan? So, and by the way, why am I doing this? I am doing this because I don't have a measuring tool. Or if I do, tinatamad akong gamitin yung measuring wheel. Baka magkamali pa ako. The GPS locator is actually very accurate. So ganito yung 2D niya. Pwede mo siyang i-present like that. So kung ikaw ay may client, tapos naipakita mo sa client mo, na-drawing mo yung lote niya on Google Earth or Google Map, mai-impress siya sa'yo. So let's do some plotting exercises. Kung ikaw ay isang newbie o rookie appraiser, ganito ang iyong presentation. Lalagyan mo lang siya ng location and then sasabihin mo subject property. Kung ginawa mo na yan or ginagawa mo pa rin ngayon, pakitype naman ng 30 so I know. Yan, mahilig maglagay ng location. Sasabihin niya, site. This is the site. Oh, again, definition of site, ha? Be careful when you use the word site. Site is anything that is already improved with readily available utilities, power, water. Oh, pag ikaw ay Roland, huwag mo tatawaging site kasi ang definition sa real estate ng site, ready na yan. May ready provision for utilities. Sabihin mo, nandito na ako sa area. Oh, kasi site, ready na yun. Tapos, dahil sophisticated ka, marunong ka sa Canva, ginanyan mo pa, di ba? Subject property, pinlat mo, di ba? Typical yan na gagawin. Ngayon, ang ituturo ko sa inyo, how to present the subject property in a 3D form kahit wala kang equipment. Yan. Pagka ikaw ay seasoned expert, appraiser, yung mga expert na natin, mga appraisers natin, gumagamit na sila ng drone. Okay? You can show that on a 3D. Yan. Mas maganda, pinresent mo sa client mo, 3,578. Ang maganda pa niyan, nakita niya yung neighborhood. Sabi niya, ganun pala, katabi ko pala yung isang malaking gas station. And meron pa palang building dito. At marami pa palang vacant Roland doon sa likod. But advantage ang kanyang property because it is next to the main highway. Ayan siya. Di ba? Maganda ang presentation pag ikaw ay mayroong drone. Ngayon, ang problema, magsisimula ka pa lang ng career mo sa appraisal. Parang ang hirap naman mag-invest ka agad sa drone. So the question is, how would I present my subject property of appraisal in 3D form? Okay? Yan ang gagawin natin. So anong gagawin mo? You need to identify damuhon, PS. Dapat kung ikaw ay professional, you should know that PS is not PS I love you, but PS private survey. Okay? Dito pala kinuha yung mga sumusulat, PS I love you. Kaya pala sila ay mga geodetic engineer or kaya mga surveyors. Okay? Mahilig sila sa PS. Okay? So anong gagawin mo? Tumayo ka doon sa muhon, tapos i-open mo yung app mo na GPS coordinates, i-type mo, tumayo ka doon, tapos kung ano yung lumabas, yun ang GPS coordinates. Similar to what I am showing on the presentation. Yan, 14.55293 and 121.04473. So yan yung location ko. So alam nyo na kung saan ako nakatira. So, huwag nyo naman akong papamanmanan. Ibig sabihin, baka may gusto kang ipalalamove. Oh, bigyan mo ako ng cake, di ba? Alam nyo na, dyan yung GPS coordinates ko. Okay. Joke lang ha, baka mamaya seryosohin nyo. Magte-thank you lang ako sa'yo. Right? Sige. Ayan. I-open mo yan sa mga muhon. Tumayo ka doon. 4 na beses. Eh kung maraming kanto, nako, 10 beses mo yan, i-open. Yan. Okay. So, paano naman yung titled? Yung pagtayo doon sa muhon, magandang gawin yon, especially if the property does not have a title. Pag tax declaration lang siya. Pero meron siyang buhon. So you can draw that on Google Earth. How about titled properties? You just check the technical description. You look at the technical description. Kung hindi ka pa nagpe-pay attention dyan, up to now, hindi mo talaga planong gawin ang appraisal. So pay attention to that. Siguro naman naiintindihan mo yung naka-highlight na yellow, yung word na from BLLM. Okay, pakitype ang sagot. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng BLLM? Okay, so ang inaral natin sa board exam, sa BSREM, magme-make sense ngayong araw. BLLM means, kalimutan na, diba? BLLM means Bureau of Lands Locational Monument. I think, tama. BLLM. Kasi meron ding Bureau of Barrio Monument. Okay nang bahala. Basta alam natin, pinag-aralan natin yan. Mababasa yan dito sa technical description. Again, pay close attention kasi gagamitin natin. Mga terang Pangasinan, this is a property located in Pangasinan. Meron siyang sukat yan. Along the lines 4-1 by lot 8-3 of the subdivision plan beginning at point mark. Ito yung tinatawag na reference point. Lot A2 on plan being north 40 degrees. Yan, thank you so much, Juan. Bureau of Plans Location Monument. Okay. 31 degrees. So yung mga points dyan, those are called the distance and bearing. Okay? We are using meets and bounds. So, dahil mahirap siyang basahin, sinamarize ko na yan. Sinamarize ko dito. Open ko lang. Yan, that one. So, we have north 40 degrees, 5 minutes, west, distance niya 21-29. If you notice, 21-29 meters, dito magkakalapit, maliliit sila because this is the distance from the reference point. Ano yung reference point niya? From the presentation, BLLM number 1, mga terang Pangasinan. Now, you go to lot plotter. I hope na-download nyo, na-save nyo sa phone nyo kung wala kayo sa desktop or laptop nyo. Ganyan ang itsura niya. Now, tie point. Sulat natin. That is a property in Pangasinan. Diba? Pangasinan, mga term ang municipality niya. So, you select Pangasinan. Letter Pangasinan. The municipality of Mga Terem. Yan. And this one is the tie point, reference point. So go back again para hindi tayo magkamali. BLLM, Bureau of Lands Locational Monument. So you should select, may BBM din dyan. Bureau of BBM, parang Bongbong Marcos. BBM, may definition din yan. Bureau of, nakalimutan ko yung BBM. BLBM, iba rin ang BLBM. So hanapin daw natin is Mga Terem. Balikan ulit natin para hindi tayo magkamali. BLLM. Mga Terem Pangasinan. BLLM. I think this one. BLLM. Here. BLL number 1, Municipality of Mga Terem, Province of Pangasinan. PAC. Okay. Now, eto kasing data na to, galing ito dun sa title, tinype ko na for presentation purposes para mabilis tayo, but you have to save this on a CSV file. Dapat naka-CSV file yan para ma-recognize nung lot plotter natin. So ito yon. Choose file. Ito yon. And then upload file. Upload file. Yan na siya. Nakita nyo? Kung nakita nyo yung ginawa ko, pakitype naman ang number 40. Exactly what I have here on this Excel spreadsheet, CSV file. Yan yon. Okay? So, na-type na, you click done. Yan. Tapos sasabihin niya sa'yo, close polygon, sarado ba? Oh, dahil sarado, you have to click yes. Now, makikita mo, ang approximate area is 3,578 square meters. Now, in GeoPortal, pwede mong malocate kung nasaan siya, but it's only on a one dimension. Flat lang siya. One dimension. Two dimension pala. It is on the two dimension. You have to click this. Itong Earth na to, change the base map to Google Map. Ayan, makikita natin. Remember, dun sa pinakita ko na video kanina, nung isang expert appraiser, dinrow niya, it is next to the gas station. This is the same property that I am showing right now. Okay? So, kahit wala kang drone, pero marunong kang magbasa ng title at marunong kang gumamit ng lot plotter, you are able to draw or locate the property on Google Earth. Okay? The problem is, hindi siya 3D, two-dimensional, flat lang siya, oh. Pero pwede mo na siya magamit, di ba? Yun nga lang, presentation purposes, parang hindi pa rin ganun kaganda. So, anong gagawin natin? Ganito ang gagawin mo. May nakikita kang numbers dito. Yan, yung block dyan, katabi ng cursor ko, that is the GPS coordinates. Para makita mo siya, click mo yung Google Maps, click mo yung none. Bumalik ka doon sa dati. Now, you have to click this. Punta mo yung gitna and lalabas dyan sa GPS coordinates sa ilalim. Kung nakikita mo yung screen ko, could you please type 50 kung nakikita nyo yung 120.28153, 15.8414. Yan ang GPS coordinates. 120 dahil lumampas siya ng 90, that is a longitude yan. 15.8, that is the latitude. So, dahil 121, nasa Pilipinas yung property na yan. Dahil both are positive, they are in the first quadrant, we know it's in the Philippines. Oh. Nasa Pangasinan, Northern. Pag nandito ka sa Metro Manila, nasa 122 ka. 122. Pag nasa Pangasinan ka, you're going north, 120, lumalapit ka sa equator. Okay? Kaya bumaba ng 2 degrees. Now, so tatandaan mo, 120, 28153, pumunta ka sa Google Earth. This is Google Earth. Okay? Now, meron na kasi ang ginawa ko na yan, but pwede mong isulat dito. Pwede mong isulat lang ng ganyan as it is. So, balikan ko lang ha. I-type ko sa lot plotter yung nakikita nating numbers. 120.28153. 120.28153. So, you go to Google Earth. Sa Google Earth pala, nauuna yung latitude kaysa sa longitude. So here, kung papansinin mo, 15 ang nauna. 15 point. Yan. Nasa Google Earth na po ito ha. Hindi po ito lot plotter. Ito yung lot plotter. Ito yung Google Earth. Okay, na-identify na niya yung isang corner. So what do you do? Ang gagawin mo, put the place marker. Gusto nating i-draw. Ito yung place marker. Click mo. Pwede mong umap. And then, let's name that point A. Anong color ang gusto mo? Anong icon? Gusto mo ganyan. Cross. Para may palatandaan ka. Anong color? Gusto mo ng red? Ayan. Tapos, pwede mong i-edit dahil nagkamali ka ng longitude and latitude. Pwede mong i-edit dito. But for presentation purposes, I don't need to be super accurate. I just want to show you that you can always go back to the lot plotter and type the correct longitude and latitude. Nakuha ba yung sinabi ko? Could you please type number 60 kung naintindihan mo yung sinabi ko? That you can always go back and type the correct latitude and longitude for faster presentation kasi alam ko hanggang alas 3 lang tayo. So, done. Okay, what's next? Bubuuin natin. Oops, hindi pala point A yun ng, okay, so this one, pwede rin, kuha ka na ulit ng isa pang place marker. Lagay mo doon. Let's accept these coordinates as it is. Okay? Kunwari ito yon, but kung gusto mong balikan at gusto mong maging accurate, ito, i-point mo doon, then copy 120.28190. So 120.28190. 28,190. Parang pareho lang eh, oh. I-edit ko lang, kunwari lang, para at least makita nyo. Hindi tayo maubusan ng oras. Ayan. Tapos, lagyan mo rin ng place marker dito. Hindi ko na babalikan yung lot plotter. Ayan. But in reality, dapat i-edit mo yan. Ilagay mo yung tamang place marker dito. Now, let's measure the area. So, paano mo i-measure yung area? Add polygon. Click mo ito. Click mo ito. Click mo yan. Click mo din dito. Ayan. So, na-close na natin yung polygon. Sabi niya, 3489.78. Hindi siya masyadong accurate kasi hindi ko na sinundan yung correct GPS coordinates. Pwede mo yung i-correct kung iisa-isahin mo. So, here, you can edit. Edit. Point A. Sabihin mo, this is point B. Edit mo rin to. This is point C. This is point D. Yan. Now, kung gusto mo ng mas maganda yung presentation mo, okay, so nawala yung aking, close ko lang yung polygon. Balikan ko lang hindi ko siya na-save kasi. Yan. Lagay mo dyan. Sarado mo. Pak. O, yan. Ang gusto mong palitan yung color. Ang sabi niya, area is 3,398. Okay, hindi siya exact kasi hindi ko na ginagalingan. Para lang makita nyo, para hindi tayo maubusan ng oras. You can change the color. I think, nandito yan Contours. Oh, dapat kasi sinip ko. Balikan ko na lang yung yung work na nagawa ko na para mas mabilis tayo. Um, ito yon. So, nung pinilat ko, pwede mong palitan yung color. Papalitan mo yung color niya. Gawin mong yellow, gawin mong red, kung ano yung gusto mo. So, ano yung gusto kong sabihin dito? You can measure the area. Dito kasi lalabas yung area niya. 3,536 with a perimeter of 244. So, balikan mo yung lot plotter. 3,578 ang area niya. Ito yung exact. Pero yung sa presentation ko, here, it's 3,536. Parang kulang ako ng 78 minus 36. 7 minus 3. 42 square meters. Nakulangan ako. Hindi kasi ganun ka-accurate yung pagkakalagay ko ng mga place markers. Now, sa lot plotter, pwede mong makita yung mga details na yan. Measure, area, or distance. So, meron dito. You can measure distance or measure the area. Okay? So, parang pareho lang din yan. Escape ko muna. Limbawa, I want to measure the distance from here to here. Lalabas, that's 67 or 68 meters. Yan. So ano ang kanyang perimeter? 250 meters, sabi niya. Escape muna tayo dito. Yan 240 meters naman ang kanyang perimeter. Now, kung gusto mo makita yung 3D form niyan, pindutin mo lang tong 3D. Pwede ka mag-screenshot dito for your presentation. 3D, ayan na siya. 'Di ba? Para ka nang naka-drone. Yung drone kanina ng isang expert appraiser, pwede mong gawin dito sa Google Map. So meron din akong pinaglalaroan doon sa kabila. Meron dong isang presentation doon. Meron akong sinusukat na lote. Okay? So kung gusto mo rin, lapitan mo pa, i-drag mo lang yung tao, lagay mo dito. Balik muna natin siya sa 2D. Lagay mo yung tao. Yan. So, titignan na natin yung actual. Itong Google Earth na to, as you can see here, it is updated April 2025. So, importante rin na tinitake note mo. Baka mamaya, 10 years ago pala yon. Marami nang nag-iba. So, dito, pag makikita mo, ito yung vacant lot. O, yan, may details pa. So, atrasan mo. Ayan, nakikita nyo ba? Sabi niya, lot for sale, 3,578 square meters. Kita ba? Pakitype naman ng 70 kung nakikita mo. 3,578. Oh. O dahil broker ka, tawagan mo yun, baka mamaya pwede kayo mag-collab. 0945-6249. O, di ba? Nakakuha ka pa ng listing dahil sa kaka-check mo ng Google Earth. Now, ang ginagawa ko rin, before ako pupuntang area, I need to check ano ba yung pupuntahan ko. Sometimes, it is important to know kung anong terrain. Baka mamaya pumunta ka, tapos mamaya pala bundok pala ang pupuntahan mo. So, ang ginagawa ko, tinitrace ko na. Sabi ko, okay. So, wala naman palang problema. Pwede ako mag-park. Pag tinignan ko, mahirapan ako mag-park. Baka mag-commute na lang. So, ang ginagawa ko na rin, chinecheck ko yung surroundings. O malay mo, makakuha tayo ng listings. Di ba? Yun ang gagawin natin. Nagpagod ka, malayo, probinsya pa yung i-appraise mo. Maghanap ka na rin ng listings. Sometimes pinupost nila dito eh. O, hanap tayo. O, lakad ka dyan. Kunwari, naglalakad. O, may karatula. So baka mamaya, for sale, sasabihin niya. For sale by owner. Say yes to life. Nasabihan ka pa tuloy. Ibig sabihin yung area maraming addict. Sabi niya, say yes to life and no to drugs. Yung pala, kita mo, mayroon kang nalaman. Maraming addict dito sa area na to. Kaya ingat-ingat ka. Kita mo rin, mayroon din dong bundok do, no? Magandang i-appraise yun. So, marami kang pwedeng ma-visualize if you're going to navigate using the Google Earth. Now, paano na measure? Paano na measure? Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyong Haber-Sein equation. Yung Haber-Sein equation, it can measure the distance between the latitude and longitude. Basta alam mo yung GPS coordinates, halimbawa ito, latitude 15.484. So, balikan natin ha. Ito. Skip po muna to. So here, pag titignan mo ito, this is 120 and 15.8. Ito, 120.28 and 15.80. Nilagay ko yan. Ito yun, 120.28 and 15.804. Tapos ito naman, yung isang point. This point. That is 120.28 and 15.8. 15.8 and 120.28. Now, using the Haber-Sein equation, sabi niya that is 77.96 meters. Meron kasi siyang kilometers, meron siyang meters, meron siyang nautical miles. But of course, maliit lang yan. Meters ang gagamitin natin. 78 daw. 78 meters yung distance from that GPS coordinate. So dito, i-measure natin yan. Kung 78 nga ba, distance from this point to this point must be 78 dapat to. Kasi kinopya lang natin. Ayan 78.91. Malapit na tayo. Yan, nakuha. Pakitype naman ang number 80 kung naintindihan yon na pwede ko siyang i-measure. Pareho lang doon sa Haber-Sein equation. So, tanggapin natin, tama ang formulang Haber-Sein equation. Plotter tayo. Balik tayo sa Google Earth. Okay. Here, kung gusto mong paglaruan pa, gusto mong ma-convince, ito naman, Google Maps naman to. Etong distance na to, kung titignan nyo, 15 degrees, 48 minutes, 17.7 north, 120 degrees, 16 minutes, 54. Pareho lang daw yan dito. It's the same. So kung hahanapin ko yan, tatype ko lang dito yan. Ayan. Diba? Tinype ko lang, nandito daw siya. Makikita nyo rin dito, 15 degrees, 120. So kung sinasabi ko, kung nasa General Santos ka, baba tayo, lumalapit tayo sa equator, nasa General Santos ka, click ko yan. Kita nyo na, 15, ang kanyang coordinates is, X ko muna yan, General Santos, nung lumalabas. Diba dito? Ito, 6N 124. Meaning, 124, pag ikaw ay nasa Metro Manila, nasa 122 ka, kumanan siya, nag +2 degrees. Bumaba siya, papunta siyang equator, kung 15 ka sa Metro Manila, 6 na siya. Dahil lumapit ka sa equator. So I hope clear yan. Kung clear yung sinabi ko, naintindihan yung kabuuan ng GPS coordinates, pakitype pang 90. Okay. Di bale hanggang 1,000 tayo. So, malayo pa yung i-discuss natin kasi pang 90 pa lang tayo. Now, going back doon sa presentation natin. Ayan. I think, so, ang next na ituturo ko naman sa inyo, so ito yun ha. Ito yun. Galing ito doon sa title, tinransfer ko lang. Ang next na ituturo ko sa inyo is how to use naman yung informatic map draw. Yung informatic map draw naman, 2D naman to for presentation purposes. So ito, yan. Tinype ko na para hindi tayo matagalan kasi alam ko mabibitin tayo. Ito lang yon. Kung itong picture na ito lang yon sa lot plotter natin na ito. Yung sa lot plotter natin, 'di ba ganyan na itsura niya? Para siyang golf club. 'Di ba? Galing itong mahaba kasi galing yan sa tie point. Galing yan sa reference point natin. So kung babalikan natin ito lang yan. Ang pangit, di ba? So kailangan kong tanggalin to. Ito yung reference point. Ano yung reference point? Yan yung 21259. So anong gagawin ko? I-delete ko lang to. I-delete ko to. Delete row. Okay, delete natin. Pak. Yan. Pag na-delete mo na, i-refresh mo lang yung map. Yan. Rectangular na siya. So pwede mong i-finalize yung map. Click mo lang tong finalize map. Anong gusto mo? Meters or feet? Yan. Meters typically in the Philippines. Tapos, finalize map mo. Okay, gawin natin 20 ang kanyang scale. Yan. O, di ba? Pwede mo na siyang i-print. I-present mo kay owner. Meron ka ng scale. Meron kang area, 3,578. Meron kang bearing nandoon. Pakita mo sa kanya. O, di ba? Ang galing naman ng appraiser ko. Kayang mag-drawing. Yan, worth 20,000 na yan. Diba? Ginamitan mo lang ng informatic map draw. Hindi niya kasi alam gamitin yon pero tayo, marunong tayo niyan. Okay? Kaya pwede tayong maningil ng professional fee. Now, eto naman yung QR code ng informatic map draw. Picturean mo na rin. It is best used sa laptop or desktop, wag sa cellphone. Picturean mo na at i-download mo na lang sa laptop mo. Ito yung kanyang link kung gusto mo. So, send ko na rin dito sa chat box para may paglaruan ka. So, traditional, top view lang. Pero dahil marunong ka ng lot plotter, geoportal, marunong ka ng gumamit ng Google Earth, kaya mo siyang i-transfer in 3D format kahit wala kang drone. Okay. Ito yung procedure natin. Okay. Ito, magiging itsura niya. Plotting using geoportal. This is plotting using Google Earth. At dahil marunong ka, marunong ka pa, magaling ka pang mag-edit using Adobe Creatives. Sino marunong gumamit ng Adobe Creatives dito? Pakitay pang 100 kung marunong ka ng Adobe Creatives. Kasi yung dinrawing mo dito sa yang yan. I know, sabi ni Imelda. Sayang, kala ko yes na. So yan, pwede mong i-superimpose yan, magiging ganyan. O, di ba? Pwede mo pang pagalawin. Yan ay kung marunong ka ng Adobe Creatives. O, di ba? Yan. Ibig sabihin, dahil marunong kang gumawa ganyan, sophisticated appraiser ka, pwede kang makapag-command ng price. Now, last topic na gusto kong i-discuss sa inyo is about the photography and appraisal. So, after ka makapag-present, dapat marunong ka rin sa photography. I recommend you use DSLR instead of using your mobile phone. Bakit? Kasi pag sa mobile phone, pag may tumawag, wala na. Diba? Busy kasi yung phone mo. Sometimes, nauubusan na memory yung cellphone mo. So, para focus, dapat camera DSLR and I recommend Canon EOS R5 because of its resolution and quality. at hindi na ganon kamahal kumpara sa ibang camera. If you can also buy a lens, okay, for interior shots, yung wide angle lens natin para makapture mo yung area ng room, wide view. Magandang gamitin ang lens. You can also use tripod for stability and level. Mas maganda yan kaysa naman sa cellphone mo, baka mamaya hindi mo ma-level, nakatagilid yung pictures mo, i-edit mo pa ulit yan sa Canva or Adobe. Pagka madilim, pwede kang gumamit ng diffuser, flash with diffuser. Pero pag may ambient light naman, it is best to use the ambient light. Mas maganda yun kaysa yung iniilawan mo lang para makita kung ano yung talagang natural na itsura ng property. You can also use measuring tools kagaya ng tape measure. It is used to scale details. Halimbawa, ang property may crack. May crack, lagay mo, pakita mo yung tape measure mo, tapos picturean mo, ibig sabihin 2 meters na pala ang crack niya. Hindi lang hairline crack. Ibig sabihin guguho na yan dahil masyadong malaki, malalim ang bitak. Again, yung last tools na pwede mong gamitin is yung drone for aerial perspective. Magandang drone kasi nakikita mo yung neighborhood. Nakikita mo kung ano ang itsura niya, ano ang kalapit na mga external factors. Pwedeng positive factors, negative factors, kita ng drone na hindi pwedeng makita ng isang SLR. So, if you are going to practice the profession, you can invest on tools. Mas maganda po yan. Gamit na gamit naman. So kung gusto mo ng drone, ito yung mga recommended drones. DJI Mini 4 or 5 series between 19K to 41K. Compact, portable, pwede siyang gamitin. Hindi mo pa kailangan ng lisensya. Okay? 250 grams lang yan. Ang policy kasi dapat 7.5 kilograms. If it is 7.5 kilograms, yung mabigat. And if it is used for commercial or business purposes, you need to be licensed by CAAP. Okay? Kailangan mo na ng lisensya sa CAAP na ikaw ay magpipiloto ng drone. Anong ibig sabihin ng drone? Drone is an unmanned flying object or unmanned aircraft. Diba? Mid-level, DJI Air 3 series, 46K to 82K. Ang maganda dito, mas maganda yung camera, mas mabigat, hindi siya basta-basta nililipad ng hangin. At of course, yung battery life niya. So, checklist na lang for our photography. If you're going to take pictures of the exterior, the context, you have to take pictures of the front. Yung elevation, front elevation, that's what we call the hero shot. Yan yung pang profile picture pag ikaw ay nag-i-Instagram or nag-Facebook. Clear view of the front of the home. Yan yung ilalagay mo pagkatapos ng appraisal. Yan yung itsura ng property. You have to take pictures also of the rear, the side, and the street. Pati yung address verification. Kung merong mailbox dyan, nakalagay yung address niya, picturean mo rin. Baka mawala yung magkahalo-halo yung mga pictures mo, maihalo mo sa ina-appraise mong ibang properties, hindi na sila match. Amenities, kasama pool, garage, shed, etc. Sa interior naman, main entry sa foyer, living spaces, living areas, picturean mo lahat. Kasama yung den, family room for every rooms. Kung 4 bedrooms yan, picturean mo yung 4 na bedrooms. Bathrooms kasama, basement tsaka attic kasama rin. Pipicturean mo lahat yan. Kung nagkaroon ng upgrades, kung ang owner nag-spend so much on tiles, gumamit ng marble, okay, mamahalin yung mga ginamit niya, modeled lahat, kitchen niya maganda. Lalo na kung gumamit pa ng solar panel. So paano mo pipicturean yung solar panel? Paano mo siya ma-showcase? It can only be taken by a drone. Drone shot lang yan. Yung kasing geoportal or Google Earth, hindi niya makukuha kung hindi naman siya updated. And then physical deficiencies, cracks. Kailangan ipakita mo kung ano yung totoo. Huwag mong pagtatakpan yung property. Kung meron siyang mga deferred maintenance, nagpipeel off na yung mga pintura, sira-sira na yung roofing, may sira sa flooring, pipicturean mo rin din yan. And then of course, you have to scale it. Measuring tool, yung sinabi ko kung may crack yan, lalagay mo, pipicturean mo. malalim ba yung crack, gaano ba kalahaba yung crack, kasama yun. And last but not the least, use of tripod for leveling, lighting para sa natural, kung ito ay maliwanag, may ambient lighting, di mo kailangan ng flash. Pero pag ito ay madilim, yung property ay isang abandoned, wala siyang electricity, nakat na, or mukha siyang haunted house, yan, mas magandang gamitan ng flash kasi baka wala kang mapicturan mo puro madilim. And pinaka-importante, kailangan every photo must have a label. Lilabelan mo, bathroom 1, bathroom 2, bathroom 3, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, lalagyan mo siya. And other tools, gumagamit ako ng dual screen na laptop. Okay, nag-invest po ako dyan kasi mas madali ako makapag-draw. Side by side, nakikita ko na yan. Yung GPS location, iti-type ko lang yan sa taas. So yan yung laptop na ginagamit ko. I also have, itong drone, wala pa ako actually, but I have a drone operator. Nag-hire lang ako kung meron ako mga properties na malalaki na ina-appraise. DSLR, I have one. Headlamps or flashlight. Meron akong headlamps para hindi ko kailangan hawak-hawak yung flashlight. Nandito na sa forehead ko. Para yung kamay kong dalawa nagagamit ko. So meron akong headlamps instead of flashlight. Pag flashlight kasi hinahawakan pa eh. So that is the end of my presentation. And kung nagustuhan niyo yung presentation na pinakita ko sa inyo, you can follow Praxis. Ito yung si Praxis Learning and Training Institute Incorporated. Yan, si Praxis Learning and Training Institute Incorporated. We offer practical appraisal trainings. In fact, meron kaming ongoing na appraisal training. Marami na kami na-train. We are already on our 4th batch. Meron ulit kami ikakonduct by March. Yan ang 5th batch namin. So, I'm proud to say na ang mga naging attendees namin this time are mostly mga BSRM chairs. I think 6 or 7 BSRM chairs attended our appraisal training this batch 3. Okay, so if you can follow Praxis Learning and Training Institute, nandito po yung picture niya. Isingit ko na rin itong si Alpha Review Center. Kung hindi pa kayo naka-follow, paki-follow din po. And I am now open for Q&A. Ilagay ko lang yung mga yan. Para naman madagdagan yung ating fans. Okay? Yung isang follower, malaking bagay na po yan. Marami pong salamat at open na po tayo for Q&A.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Engineer Dalope. Highly technical yung naturo. At least
Yeah.
nandito nga si Praxis to guide us. Yung continuation, I think, ng discussion nyo is with Praxis na. And then,
Tama.
actually, lang po, singit lang po. Let's use this portion po as yung photo op po muna before
Oh, okay.
a session. So,
Sige.
let's
I-unshare. Stop share ko muna. Yeah.
let's do this. So of course, number 1, pangmalakasan. Ano? Let's open our cameras lang po for attendance. Okay, hantay lang po mga attendees. Okay, Miss Syra, please take the screenshot na lang. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, 1, 2,
Thank you,
3,
Prof.
smile.
Thank you, sir.
Nga,
May Q&A pa po sakaling may gusto po magtanong later.
Opo, half nga here are licensed na, or rather, non-practicing licensed appraisers. Tapos yung iba rin ay aspiring appraisers. And then yung sa reviewee ng brokers. So yes po, nagtatanggap na po tayo ng questions for Engineer Dalope. Guys, please send your questions here sa chat box po. Okay. Si Miss Tyra ba mayroong license pero non-practice. Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, actually, may license ako pero not practicing pa, pero kaya yan. Hello? Nakat ako?
Yes po. May question po kayo for Hello. Ayan, of course, si Merit. I would like to commend our today. Same with last week. Si Sir Victor Redondo. Okay, no question. Anyone from Okay.
Nag-send ako, Sir Juan, ng link for feedback.
Oo nga, sige, going once. Ayan, to admin po, can we have a copy of recording? Very useful yung demonstration ni Engineer Dalope no, kanina. Opo, magkakaroon tayo ng upload nito sa ating YouTube channel. Ayan, grateful po si Ma'am Imelda sa today's success series, no? And I think wala na po na question. Mag-proceed na po tayo. Ipasa ko na po kay for the recognition. Sir Victor.
Okay. Yeah, so allow me to read the citations for the Certificate of Appreciation, which is proudly presented to Engineer Teddy Dalope for sharing his invaluable expertise on the topic Foundation of Appraisal and for his outstanding support, which significantly contributed to the success of this event. His contribution has greatly enriched the knowledge and professional development of the participants and helped make this learning session meaningful and impactful. Given this 20th day of February 2026, signed by Executive Vice President Mr. Jesus T. Chua and Mary Joy Gochanko, our chapter president. Again, congratulations. Thank you very much, and God bless Engineer Teddy.
Congratulations, Engineer.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you.
for our closing remarks, let me call Prof. John Conrad Cruz, Rebrea, our Vice President for Internal Affairs.
And so thank you very much to our esteemed PRO, Appraiser Juan Fernando Asuncion. So again, thank you very much po, no, Engineer Teddy Dalope. That was a very inspiring talk, no. So I think na-encourage sila na mag-practice ng appraisal because of what you said. Thank you for sharing. I would also like to thank everyone for attending, no. Especially I see some of my students. So Engineer Teddy, I invited some of my BSREM students to come. So thank you guys for coming. Ayan. I hope that you learned a lot and please feel free to siguro send us messages din po. I also see Prof. Noel Cobangbang, no. Ayan. Thank you po. I'd also like to thank our Secretary Frides Manil and our Trustee Zaira Soriano for organizing this talk. So let me all invite you to our next talk. No, we still have several topics next week. So I think Trustee Zaira, we have League Attorney Tin Simbran, I think, tama po ba? And Architect Joshua to discuss further interesting topics for you all for free again next week. So thank you po, and we hope to see you in the next one.
Okay.
Back to you, Piero.
Metro Rizal e-learning hub, no? So, mag-aya lang po kami. Follow the Facebook page of NREA Metro Rizal for more updates.
Piero, sorry. Can you please show them the page para they can follow our announcements kasi they would like to see further announcements on the next e-learning sessions.
Tama.
Baka kaya lang mo share.
Miss Zaira.
Miss Zaira, Trustee
Actually,
Zaira, sorry. Yes.
yeah.
Can you please show yung
I can
yung
actually I can just promote that. No, it's okay.
Okay, sige. So maybe send na lang
Hindi
yung
ko siya
link ng
share ngayon,
page.
but I can actually send sa mag-email blast naman kami later kasi summer app.
Okay. So thank you, Trustee Zaira.
Yeah.
What?
But to invite everyone for next week, we have
Apo. Thank you for attending our success session, or rather success series session 2. It has been our pleasure to present you this lecture. Okay po, Ms. Zaira.
I think we're all good. We just have an evaluation form. If I could ask Sir Conrad or Sec Frida if they can send in the link, in the chat box our link for the evaluation, then actually we're good. We're actually requesting na pwedeng pasagot para we know how to improve moving forward. Then, and we really appreciate your time, Sir Teddy. Thank you for giving this lecture also. Ayan po. Pasend na lang po ng link. Thank you po. Sa chat box na lang po. Sir Conrad, if possible.
Nasend na ni Education
Ayun, Sir,
Chairman,
sinend po ni Sir
Sir Victor.
Victor.
Thank you, Prof. Noel.
Okay, I appreciate it. Pasagot na lang po everyone and then we're all good. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much po for your time. Happy weekend and see you po in the next session. Thank you po.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Teddy.
Thank you.